Here's the truth. Nobody's telling you. Most people will enter 2026 with the same financial mess they had in 2025. Same debt, same anxiety, same excuses, but not you. Because right now, while everyone else is distracted, you have a rare window of opportunity. Interest rates are hovering around 4.5%. Inflation has cooled to roughly 3%. And the economic landscape is shifting in ways that smart investors are already positioning themselves to exploit. Look, I'm not here to sell you some get-rich-quick scheme or tell you to buy crypto and pray. I'm going to show you the exact 5-step checklist that separates people who actually build wealth from those who just talk about it. And here's what makes this different. This isn't generic advice your grandpa would give you. This is specifically calibrated for where we are right now in late 2025, heading into 2026. The Federal Reserve has held rates steady. Core inflation is sitting at 2.8%. The job market remains solid, but we're seeing signs of softening. These conditions create specific opportunities that won't last forever. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do with your money in the next 60 days to set yourself up for a genuinely wealthy 2026. Not comfortable, not doing okay, actually wealthy. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your finances? And I don't mean glancing at your checking account balance before buying coffee. I mean really looked at the full picture. Because here's the harsh reality. You can't fix what you won't face. So step one might sting a little, but it's absolutely necessary. And it starts with something most people are too scared to do. Let's dive in. Step one, run your financial audit. Most people avoid this step because it forces them to confront reality. But here's the thing. Wealthy people obsess over their numbers. Poor people avoid them. So here's what you're going to do. Block off 2 hours this week. No distractions. No Netflix in the background. Just you and your finances. Pull up your bank statements, credit card statements, investment accounts, everything. And ask yourself 3 brutal questions. First, where did your money actually go in 2025? Not where you think it went, where it actually went. Log into your accounts and look at the past 3 months of transactions. You'll be shocked. That $12 subscription you forgot about, those delivery fees that added up to $400, the gym membership you haven't used since February. Second, are you moving forward or backward? Compare your net worth from January 2025 to today. If the number went down or stayed flat, you have a spending problem, an earning problem, or both. And don't give me the excuse about inflation. Everyone's dealing with inflation. The question is, did you adapt? Third, what's your actual savings rate? Take your total savings and investments for the year and divide it by your gross income. If that number is below 15%, you're not building wealth. You're treading water. And in an economy where inflation is still at 3%, treading water means you're actually sinking. Now write down 3 specific financial goals for 2026. Not vague wishes like save more money. Actual goals with numbers. For example, build a 6-month emergency fund of $18,000 by December 2026. Max out my Roth IRA contribution of $7,000. Pay off $8,500 in credit card debt by July. These numbers become your North Star. Step 2, optimize your money flow. Here's where most people fail. They set goals, but don't engineer their money to automatically hit those goals. That's like saying you want to lose weight, but keeping ice cream in the freezer. Your environment needs to match your intentions. This is where the conscious spending plan comes in. And no, this isn't a budget where you track every coffee. This is about setting up the right percentages so your money flows to the right places automatically. Here's the framework. 50 to 60% of your take-home pay should go to fixed costs. That's rent, utilities, insurance, car payments, minimum debt payments. If you're above 60%, you have a fixed cost problem. Usually it's housing or a car you can't afford. And I know that's painful to hear, but someone needs to tell you that $800 car payment is the reason you can't build wealth. Next, 10% minimum should go to investments. And I'm talking about real investments, retirement accounts, index funds, not crypto speculation, not your buddy's startup. For 2025, you can contribute up to $23,500 to your 401k. If your employer offers a match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. That's literally free money. For Roth IRAs, the limit stays at $7,000 or $8,000 if you're 50 or older. 5 to 10% goes to savings. This is your emergency fund, your vacation fund, your car replacement fund. And yes, you need an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account. account, not your checking account. A high-yield savings account where it's earning at least 4% right now. And finally, 20 to 35% is guilt-free spending. This is everything else: eating out, clothes, hobbies, entertainment. But here's the key: if you want to spend 35% on guilt-free, you better be hitting those other numbers first. You can't spend like you're rich while you're broke. Now here's what you do with this. Look at your actual spending from step 1 and compare it to these percentages. Where are you off? Most people are spending 70% on fixed costs and 40% on guilt-free spending. And then they wonder why there's nothing left to invest. Pick one category to fix this month, just one. If your fixed costs are too high, what can you cut? Can you refinance? Get a roommate? Trade in that car? If your guilt-free spending is out of control, set up a separate checking account just for discretionary spending and transfer your budgeted amount there each month. When it's gone, it's gone. Step 3. Eliminate wealth-killing debt. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: credit card debt. The average credit card APR is sitting at 21.39% right now. Some cards are charging 24% or higher. That means if you're carrying a $10,000 balance and making minimum payments, you're going to be in debt for over 20 years and pay nearly $15,000 in interest. Think about that. You're giving away $15,000 for absolutely nothing. Not building wealth, not investing, just paying interest to a bank. This is the single biggest wealth destroyer for middle-income Americans. So here's your action plan. First, call every credit card you have and ask for a lower APR. 83% of people who asked got their rate lowered. Just call. Tell them you've been a good customer, you've seen better rates elsewhere, and you'd like them to lower your rate. If they say no, tell them you're considering transferring your balance to a competitor. Often they'll transfer you to retention, and suddenly a lower rate appears. Second, if you're carrying balances on multiple cards, use the debt avalanche method. List all your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Pay minimum on everything except the highest rate card. Throw every extra dollar at that one. Once it's gone, roll that payment to the next highest rate. This saves you the most money in interest. Third, consider a balance transfer card. Many cards are offering 0% APR for 15 to 18 months on balance transfers. If you have good credit, you can move your high interest debt to one of these cards and pay 0 interest while you aggressively pay it down. Just make sure you pay it off before the promotional period ends. Create a debt payoff date. Go to a debt payoff calculator online. Plug in your numbers. See the exact month and year you'll be debt-free if you keep making minimum payments. Now, increase your payment by $200 or $500 per month and watch how dramatically that date moves up. That's your new target. Put it on your calendar. Make it real. Step 4. Supercharge your investments. All right, you've fixed your spending and you're tackling debt. Now let's talk about actually building wealth, because here's the truth. You cannot save your way to wealth. Saving is defense. Investing is offense. First, if you're not maxing out your employer 401k match, you're leaving money on the table. If your company matches 5%, contribute at least 5%. If you make $80,000, that's $4,000 of free money every year. Over 30 years with compound growth, that's over $400,000 you're walking away from. Don't be that person. For 2025, the 401k contribution limit is $23,500. And if you're between 60 and 63, you can contribute an enhanced catch-up of $11,250. If you can't max it out completely, at least increase your contribution by 1% right now. You won't even notice it in your paycheck, but that small change compounds dramatically. Next, open a Roth IRA if you don't have one. For 2025, the income phase out for singles is between $150,000 and $165,000. And for married couples, it's between $236,000 and $246,000. If you're under those limits, max this out. $7,000 per year. That's $583 per month. The money grows tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free in retirement. This is one of the best wealth-building tools available. And don't overlook the health savings account if you have a high-deductible health plan. In 2025, individuals can contribute up to $4,300 and families up to $8,550. HSAs have triple tax advantages. Tax deductible going in, grows tax-free, and withdrawals are tax-free for medical expenses. After 65, you can use it for anything penalty-free. This is actually better than a Roth IRA. Here's what you're investing in: low-cost index funds. Not individual stocks, not whatever's trending on social media. Index funds, something like a total stock market index fund or an S&P 500 index fund. If you want to set it and forget it, use a target date fund based on when you plan to retire. The key is automation. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment accounts on the same day you get paid. Treat your investments like a bill, non-negotiable. Most people say they'll invest whatever's left at the end of the month. There's never anything left. Pay yourself first. Step 5. Increase your earning power. Here's the harsh truth. If you're barely scraping by after optimizing your spending, you don't have a spending problem. You have an income problem. And there's only so much you can cut before life becomes miserable. But here's the good news. There's no limit to how much you can earn. And in late 2025, with unemployment still under 4%, you have more leverage than you think. Let's start with your current job. When's the last time you asked for a raise? If it's been more than 18 months, it's time. But you can't just walk in and say you need more money because rent went up. You need to build a case based on value. Here's how. 6 months before you want the raise, schedule a meeting with your boss. Ask them, what would I need to accomplish to be considered a top performer and be eligible for a compensation increase? Write down what they say, then execute flawlessly. Document everything. Track your wins. Quantify your impact in numbers. When review time comes, you walk in with receipts. You said, if I did X, Y, and Z, we could discuss compensation. I've done all three. Here's the data. Based on market rates and my performance, I believe this number is fair. Then stop talking. If your current company won't budge, start looking externally. The fastest way to increase income is changing jobs. On average, people who switch companies see a 10 to 20% pay increase. And consider starting a side income stream, not a second job trading time for money. A skill-based service where you charge premium rates for specialized knowledge. An extra $1,000 per month is $12,000 per year. Invested over 20 years, that's over $500,000. Look, you don't have to do everything at once. Pick one step from this video, the one that will have the biggest impact on your finances right now, and start this week. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. If this helped you, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.